Hey, welcome in, everybody. Good vibrations to you guys, and thank you for being here. Apparently, I thought I was live about 5 minutes ago, and I was just rambling and talking my butt off. But apparently, I hadn't hit the live button to broadcast the show, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a quick show, man, because I only got one guy with me, and it's gonna be a short show. Also, because we have Herb Howard coming on tonight, and we don't want to oversaturate the market. And you know how Herb's gonna bring it tonight. So I want to kind of save a little bit of my fire for the night. But good vibrations again to everybody. Thank you guys for being in the chat. Armando, the Heart Foundation, King Buka World, Patty Laura, Armando Laura, Where Goes One, Mark Kazak, Joseph Archer, Plank, who was here earlier but had to jet out because he's got to work this evening. So peace out and bear down the plank out there, man. Appreciate you guys again for being here. One more time tonight, you're getting a double dose of Nomad Live because we will be on again tonight at 8 with Herb Howard with his bird's eye view of what he's seen so far at Hallis Hall the last couple of days. And you know he's good. You know he's going to be detailed with what he has to say. So make sure you tune in to that tonight. I wouldn't be anywhere else. And so with that said, let me bring in Triple R. How you doing, guy?
What's going on? What's going on, good people? Big up and like you shouted out everybody, so I echo those sentiments. But like King Buka World is saying there in the chat, stay hydrated, y'all. You know, especially if you're in the area where it's the heat and the humidity, but it's feeling good. You get a good lather going. Camp is going. They're inside Hallis Hall, I'm sorry, they're inside the Walter Payton Center, which is beautifully air conditioned, I might say, as I was there at the last camp. But yeah, they're out there getting it in, and it's day, what is it? Day two, day three is day three,
Day three.
day three. So yeah, let's rock.
Yeah, most of my information I have today, I'll be fair with you guys and tell you the truth. It's all secondhand information. I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody today. I wouldn't got what I can get, and it seems pretty accurate across the board. That like you would expect right about now, DJ and Justin are locked in. They're locked in, and he's getting that ball to DJ on a regular basis. There's a true combination going on out there, and man, I just love hearing that, man. It's sounding really good. Some of the stuff I'm hearing about Justin, through the presser, from whether it be from Poles or Getsy, it sounds like he's really, really taking command of this team, not only just the offense, but of the team. And that's the kind of things you want to hear. I mean, it's just, I mean, with the short game sounded like it came across very well today. So he was really working on that. That must have been an emphasis today to get on that short game stuff. And it sounded good from everything I've heard.
Well, I like the fact that I did listen to Luke Getsy's press conference. And he's a dude, man. He's a football guy. He thinks fast, he talks fast, he gives holistic answers, he promotes his players in a positive way. You know, if they need to work on things, he'll word it, in a very softening the blow. Look, the kid doesn't suck, but needs to work on things kind of way. And I believe one of the questions was, what has Justin Fields done to get rid of the ball faster? Does he look like he's, back foot release timing thing? And the answer was, well, that's something that they typically work on. But yes, there's more comfort, within the system and the play calling and the understanding what's going on, as well as the upgrade of talent with DJ Moore, who is just, a professional wide receiver. That's not something that we've had here other than like who maybe Brandon Marshall when we brought him in. But other than that, we've been trying to develop wide receivers, or we bring in like a Allen Robinson, who's like maybe on the precipice of the downside of his career. But DJ Moore, he's like, yeah, I put it all together. I'm a pro, dog. So you line up, we're gonna run these routes. I'm gonna catch these balls. We're gonna make these touchdowns and these plays, and we're gonna win these games.
Hang
And
on
that's what I want to see.
1 second. Heart Foundation is telling me, I hope this isn't true because I'm a football guy. I don't wish no harm on any football player. I don't care if he's on this team or not. But he's saying that somebody put a bug in his ear and said that Joe Burrow was carted off the field with a lower body injury. I hope that is false. I hate things like that.
right? And I just hope that it's extra precautionary as opposed to anything else.
Hey, like you said, I hope here's to hoping our Bears make it out of camp safe and sound. Let me knock on wood right now. I second that shit, brother. Because
Right.
that's all you can hope for is everybody comes out of camp, healthy and ready to roll. You can accomplish a lot of things in camp, but the main thing is making sure you get out of there healthy, safe, and sound.
Indeed, and it's a physical game, and we get that. And another thing that Getsy said, with 17 games, on the roster, on the schedule, um, specifically referencing the depth and like the running back room and just the numbers factor. It's like, yeah, you really need all of these guys, but a different conversation for a different day is, but the roster is only so many, and guys are going to get hurt. So now what are we doing? Why can't we just increase the roster, increase the salary cap? But yeah, we're not getting into that today. But yeah, um, hopefully everybody comes out as healthy as possible. They stay hydrated. They've done the stretching. Those soft tissue injuries, avoid those, and just please, just you want to see the kids play, all the kids, even the old kids.
He's James Ford is asking kind of how much of the offense do you think? I think this second year in the offense is gonna move mountains for a lot of people. Let me say this because I've said this several times thus far, and it might have sounded crazy when I said it at the very beginning. When we first started drafting guys and making free agent signings, I said with the way this roster looks on paper, and this is I'm a piggyback that on top of what I've heard thus far these past few days in training camp. I think not only does this team has a chance to, they look like a team, sound like a team that can score 21 points and a half. But I would say even further, thus far, if things keep piling on the way they're doing right now, and these guys keep improving and getting better out there, I think this could probably be one of the most, probably the most vaunted offense that we've had ever in Chicago, based
I,
on what I'm hearing so far.
I would not disagree with that sentiment, and just look at the raw, physical aspects of the game with the youth, the strength, the size, the power, the speed, the explosiveness. That's just something that generationally we're not used to. Line up in the OT formation with the dudes and they leather helmets, and maybe you get a Mike Dick out there who's athletic at tight end, but Mike Dick type athleticism, they wouldn't make this team because of the level of what we have now. And putting that together with a good scheme and game plan, along with that mentality of wanting to improve individually as well as team wise, and the common goal of that Super Bowl, we can be in store, like Nomad is saying, I don't want to put a number on it, but one of the most explosive offenses ever, ever. Let me say that one more time for exclamation. Ever in Chicago Bears history. So that is something, to get a little amped up for and, look forward to it. Not expected. And, if it doesn't happen, that's cool. But what we're building here is going towards that. And the power of polls compels you. Yes, it does.
Listen, I'm seeing a lot of good commentary in the chat about Demarcus Walker, his presence. I've seen that a lot today too, on Twitter. Man, his presence is being known out there. He's letting it be known. He's firing those guys up, getting them going, and hey, it's a lot. He's probably paying attention, just like King Booker is saying. He's hearing a lot about we don't have a pass rush, but he's gonna probably take that personal. I know I would if I was him. I would if I was hearing another guy that keeps poking out. I've seen this not once but twice on Twitter. Uh, Terrell Lewis is poking out in practice. People keep noticing him, and so we keep talking about waiting on somebody. Waiting on polls to sign an edge rusher. I get all that, man. I wouldn't mind them actually signing one too, but I'm more interested in what we have in the locker room so far more than I'm interested in what he does. We just got to be patient, man. I don't want to, you know, sit around here and be anxious, worrying about whether or not he's going to sign somebody. I'd rather just be focusing on the guys that we have in camp.
Now I heard the that as well report as well that Terrell Lewis was looking good again, flashing. But the negative, the flip side of that coin, was that it was also against our rookie right tackle Darnell Wright. And so, is that a negative for Wright or a
That was that
positive
was
for
that was
Lewis?
OTAs. That was OTAs.
Right, but the same comment was stated again for this in the first two, three, the yesterday. So a day before or yesterday, Lewis made another play. So
Well,
I mean, it's carried on. So I'm just saying that it's totally understandable that our defensive ends will make plays against our offensive tackles, but it's being twisted as a negative to our offensive tackles. It's like, well, how can you be giving up sacks? It's like, well, those guys are professionals too. And, it's just iron sharpening iron and making them better. So when we do see defensive ends that may step up and show flashes, and it's like always beating the tackles, and then don't flip that to be a negative on the offensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, a little bit. Just to the point about Terrell Lewis, it doesn't. As long as they don't have pads on right now, it's really no reflection of the offensive lineman. But the fact that you keep hearing that the guy is standing out makes you feel good because you know that he's when they put the pads on. I suspect that will continue, and you will keep hearing that. I'm not saying that he's going to be out there dominating. I don't know what's going to happen. I expect that guy to ascend during training camp when they have pads on because that's when he gets a chance to really shine and show what he really has under his belt, what he's learned, and you heard Eddie Jackson say he's trying to remake himself. I want to see what that looks like, So I can't wait for it. I see Sam on the chat, man. Why ain't you on the show, man? What you doing, man?
Samo. And that's something I heard from also Khalil Herbert spoke and just about the remaking themselves and the physical standards and requirements that this regime has put on these players. It's like when you go away this offseason, we expect you to come back with this, and this, being able to lift this, run this fast, this percentage of body fat. And to a man, they've all spoken at how they've matured and started eating the right things. Well, mf'er in the kitchen, you know how that goes. But and how they're working out and increasing their flexibility, doing the more holistic things like Pilates and yoga, as opposed to just hitting the gym and lifting iron. So the whole foundation that is going on here is like a pot, and you turn that fire under the pot and getting that simmer going. It's gonna bubble, and it's feeling good, Nomad. It's feeling good.
All right, we're going let's hit these notes right quick so we don't have to be on here too long because we do have a show tonight. And just some I think I mentioned Valus and Tyler Scott kept coming up. They're catching deep balls, and I'm gonna say it one more time. Valus is from all reports sounding really, really good out there. Knowing what he's doing, being really explosive out there. They're using him in different ways, and he's making explosive plays down the field, like I said he would in camp. So if you want to touch on that, any man, you go ahead.
Hey man, the Valus, the weapon ability of who he is, it's nice to be seeing that out there. And Scott, the rookie, and the thing that we don't want to sleep on with Valus and Scott that goes back to the explosiveness and the potential of this offense. These are smoking fast guys that we just need to get the ball in their hands and let them do their thing. And the more we can do that in however positions and not putting too much on their plate and just putting them in a position to succeed, this offense has those capabilities to put up those numbers. So, you fantasy, bet people and all that, hey, don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Claypool is looking good out there from reports. I think he had, reporters going to anything that he does that is negative. He dropped the ball early in practice and came back and made a nice play across the middle. From what I understand, they're they're gonna mention. You got certain reporters out there that's gonna look for every little thing that they can report on the negative. Of course they will. Of course they will. But who cares, man? He had a drop out there. But the worst drop I heard of today, and it's funny because I'm gonna say this, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way because I know a lot of people have a lot of high expectations for Roshan Johnson. But be realistic. He's probably unless we have a bunch of injuries, he won't be the starter week 1, week 2, or week 3, or anytime soon. But he did get run with the first string offense because you have to give him those opportunities to play behind the guys to actually see what you have back there and how he looks in front of the first team. So he did get first team reps today, from what I understand, but he did put the ball on the carpet. That's bad. There's one thing for a receiver to bobble a ball and drop it or let it hit his hands and he drops it. But when a running back puts the ball on the turf, you want to see a coach come out of his shirt, put the ball on the ground as a running back.
Yeah, that's kind of the job description right there. That's a quarterback who throws interceptions constantly. You can't play in this league. You got to hold on to the ball. But we're not gonna stress it out. All right, the kid dropped the ball. You're gonna give him his rookie growing pains. But as far as starting, I like that he wants to, that he has the drive and ambition to. But Foreman is a veteran in this league. Herbert is a veteran in this league. Unless he comes out and has some kind of miraculous, Superman type of a camp, barring injury, of course, he's going to be behind those guys as long as they're here. So I like the drive. I like the hunger, but settle down, Rook. Settle down. Hold the ball. You'll be all right.
Yeah, a couple more quick notes, man. I really, some of the things that really stick out to me is listening to polls. He was on, I think, 670 to score yesterday, and I think Mully and Haw, somebody today or yesterday, late yesterday or something. But he can say certain things, and I can kind of hear his voice and know how much he means it. But one thing that stuck out to him, so he says he's like Justin's energy is completely different, man. He is confident, comfortable, and he understands exactly what he's doing out there, and he just feels his energy feels completely different, and it all reverts back to, hey, dude, when you're the leader of a team, you got to own it. You got to freaking own it. I mean, you got to act like you're the leader. I mean, and from everything I've heard so far, I mean, and just the practices the last couple of days, man, is the words are sounding like action on the field. It's matching.
Well, that's, part of the maturation process. What did we expect Justin to do or to be at what point in his career with the tools he had around him? I mean, he's always had that bravado, that je ne sais quoi cockiness, if you will, ooh la la, that was a leader because that's been kind of bred into him as he's been doing this his whole life. It's been that constant battle with him and Sunshine, from high school to college and now the pros. But having that bravado and knowing who you are and the talents and capabilities that you have gets muddled when you're in a situation that you're not winning. You're going into the league now. Yes, he's been planning for this, but it's still not the same as getting there. And now all the media is on you, all the focus, all the attention, the locker room, everybody's looking at you. You can handle the task, but then also he's learning the offense. He's learning, the city. He's learning how to be a pro. He's learning his teammates. And so he has the confidence to know that he can do it, but he still has to learn how to do it. And so that's where we saw some of those, press conferences last season where after losses, of course, he's upset, but there was a lot of internal, debating going on, and he's learning his breathing and how to cope those things because it's a maturation process. And I think we should be happy, that he was drafted here. We get to see him develop here and hopefully, progress here into what we all hope that he is. And so,
let me ask you a question.
What up?
Did you stumble off into the weeds before the show?
A little
Cause
bit.
you just
But
rambling.
but I mean,
What
it's
the
like
hell's wrong with you, man? I told you we needed to do a short show, man. What you doing?
well, it's only the two of us. It gives me a chance to get off into my analogies, as kids like to put it. See you kids in the chat. Big up to Chris in the chat. Big up to Samo. And we got to give a happy birthday to the Mrs. Samo. You know, big up, much love, and
And
everybody out there. But just to wrap that up, it's just nice to watch him mature and develop as a person as well as a player, succinctly.
oh my God, this a Dylan Prescott said he did.
Right
I
on,
should
Dylan.
have. I should have, but I ain't have time, man. But look, we got to get through these notes really quick because we can't do an hour show, man. I just got stuff to do. Plus, we got a show tonight, but I'm gonna get through as much as I can really quick. I'll tell you, I'm gonna save a couple of these things for tonight. One thing that really stuck out to me, and I'll say this to you guys. This is per our guy at Second City Gridiron, Lester Wolfong Jr. The second team offensive line sounded really, really interesting. I liked it though. So here's how it goes from left to right. He's got Borum at left tackle. This is him at practice observing what we have out there. Borum at left tackle. I don't know how much I like that. But I like Carter at left guard. This is the second team now. Carter at left guard, Patrick at center, Leatherwood at right guard. I like him being kicked inside. I like that for him. And Deesh at right tackle. What do you think about that?
Hold on, let me marinate on that for a second. Borum, I don't know, because he wasn't the best at the right side, and wasn't that supposed to be his best side? So I like that he's, still working, still putting in the work. All right, Jatari Carter at left guard, I like that. In college at the HBCU, he was a dominant left tackle. So putting him on that left side, kicking a man, I like. Who was center?
Lucas Patrick.
Okay, cool. You
Oh
know,
man, don't be like that, man.
I
Lucas,
mean, all right,
the man was dinged up all year,
all
man.
right, yeah, all right, I get it. He's cool, but he just don't do it for me. I hope he balls out, but ultimately, I would love for one of these young guns to beat out Whitehair and Patrick, but that's a different story. Now at right guard, Leatherwood, cool. I like that he's still working, that he hasn't quit after everything that's been put down on him. And Deesh, right tackle, what I could see that because even with his short arms, he was projected to be a right tackle. So okay, I can see that, and you know, I know that Carter they got versatility going, but yeah, I like that overall.
Hey, Paul Clark said it's not 420 where he's at.
Hey man, you better fix your clock. Get those fingers to line up.
Hey, what really makes, and we're gonna wrap this up here in a second, man. I'm sorry we're short today, but we do have a show tonight, so you guys tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Central for Herb Howard. He's gonna bring it tonight, as Herb always does. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and turn on them damn notification bells so you don't miss the show. We don't like you guys missing shows, so get that notification bell, man. But one thing I do like about that lineup is what really sticks out as really good to me is getting Carter in at a guard and Leatherwood in at a guard. I don't care what side of guard he plays. I think Leatherwood is at the point where we need to see what we can get out of him from the inside. Stop putting him at tackle. Apparently they're not liking what they see at tackle. We've only seen a limited amount of him at the right side. We haven't seen him at left tackle. So I don't know what they're doing, but I like the idea of him being kicked inside. I think you can get more usage out of him. I think if you leave him on the inside, whether it be left or right, I think he can find a home there and get some, continuity with himself, and with the rest of the guys on the line. And I think it's a good thing.
Definitely, and hopefully, he's all healed up from the mono. He's got his strength. He has the playbook digested and understood, so he can just go out there, and play and read and react, and not have to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's say, hey, you know what? Let's just call it one, man, because I got a lot I want to say, but I know I need to keep some of these notes for the night, and I need to be asking Herb some of these questions because he's the best to answer for it. He's out there watching it from a bird's eye view, and he can tell me things that I haven't heard so far. And I'm looking forward to it tonight, man. I hope you guys are there. I can't wait to talk to Herb Howard. He just he and I have a chemistry when we talk about football that I haven't experienced with a reporter so far. But other reporters are great, but Herb, for some reason, really jibes with me and the way we think football. So looking forward to that tonight, you guys. What, you have anything before we wrap up?
Before we wrap up, let's turn it over to some comments here that the
We gotta
chatter
go. We
shared.
gotta go. We got to go. We got
All
to
right, but just Leatherwood, keep it up. We see you, it's Joseph Cornelius. So hit us tonight. We'll be Nomad live. Herb Howard.
Okay, guys, we hate to be short. That's not what we do. We try to be thorough when we do a show, man. But today is a different day. We have two shows. Also, while I'm talking about tonight's show, remember tomorrow night, I'm not sure exactly what time we're going to do it. Samo is honeymooning and being a nice boyfriend or whatever he is, whatever's going on with him and his wife, man. Good luck to them, man, and hope they're having a good time right now. But I told him we might have to wait till 10 o'clock and do a Nomad at night. So if you guys are up, hopefully you'll stay up. Maybe 9 or 10 o'clock at night, we'll do a late Nomad at night for you guys tomorrow. It's a special Nomad at night for you guys. Also, don't forget to watch the afternoon show because we'll do after training camp another show for that too. So you'll have another two shows tomorrow. So hopefully you guys are getting enough of the Nomad Network. You're getting enough information, and we're doing our job to make sure we give quality content to you guys, man. So this is what we love doing, man. We hope you guys approve. So with that being said, man, love you guys. Thank you for showing up to the show. And all I can say to that is love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Later on. Bear that.